Hey pen friends, it's Kaitlin. Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be another analog talk, which is my kind of name for our casual stationery journal chats that I've been starting to do a little more on here, and I've been liking them. You guys say you like them, so I'm gonna keep doing them. In today's analog talk, I wanted to talk about a couple things and just catch you up on some things that are like going on and I'm planning for and happening in my life regarding journaling. The first thing I want to talk about is how my decluttering is going and just give you a little bit of an update on how that has been rolling out. Then I want to talk a little bit about some pen struggles that I've been having, and then I thought I would also finish it off with sharing maybe a couple things related to my upcoming travel kit for my trip in May. Since I am going to be traveling, I thought I would just maybe talk casually about what I'm going to be bringing for that so that I can like collect ephemera, write about the day, record my memories, you know, all that good stuff. So those are the topics that we're going to be covering in today's video. And I'm going to be starting with the declutter process. So I will let you know where I am in that and we can just dive in and start there. So yes, I have been kind of, I don't know if decluttering is I guess decluttering is the right word. Essentially, I've been taking a closer look at my stationery this year and trying to kind of condense and leave and rehome things that I maybe don't use so they can be enjoyed by other people before they go bad, and just be more mindful about what I then bring in once I've kind of fully condensed my collection, just to kind of have like a bit more of a tight collection of stationery that I use, that I enjoy, that I really love, and also just again having like slightly better spending habits when it comes to bringing in supplies so that it's stuff that I'm hopefully going to be like using and enjoying and won't be decluttering a couple months down the line. So I mentioned in the last video that I was like planning to do this declutter, and maybe I'll move this out of the way because I keep I keep touching my journals. I was planning to do this declutter and I have started it. So I did kind of create this rough plan. I kind of based it off of how I go about my wardrobe because I have a pretty good flow there when it comes to like auditing my clothing and bringing things in, as well as going through what I use. So I took a similar approach with my stationery, where essentially what I did was I went through all of my stationery and I kind of sorted it into 3 groups. The first group is keep, so things that I really, really love, would never want to part with. The second group is rehome, so things that I was like really certain that I was ready to let go of and rehome, or like if it had gone bad, throw it away or recycle it. And then the third group is the maybe group. And for me, when I declutter, I can't be like so polarized with my decisions. Like it's very difficult for me sometimes to put something in a keep or a rehome bucket, which is where the maybe bucket comes in. So I've done this with my wardrobe before, but essentially my maybe bucket is things where I think I might want to let them go, but I want a little more time to decide. So what I do is I take the things that are maybes, I put them in like a basket under my bed, and essentially what I do is I put it away in a place that is separate from where I keep the thing, being like wardrobe or stationery supplies. And essentially I will leave it there for a couple months and see if I'm going into that bin or under my bed to grab something that I'm kind of thinking that I would like. So seeing if I remember anything that I've put in that bin. And then what I do is a couple months later, I'll take out the bin again, look through the things, and I find having a bit of time to kind of distance myself from the things helps bring a bit of clarity for me when deciding if I do want to keep or let something go, and then I can kind of make that decision then. So I did kind of do that approach with my stationery. I can maybe insert some B-roll on some of the things that I was decluttering. I did film a video, but I had some trouble when going back and editing it because I didn't really want to like relive the decluttering process. and re-see everything that I was decluttering. I don't know, I think I'd kind of like come to a conclusion with my things, what I would keep, what I would let go of, what would be a maybe, and having to like rewatch it, I felt like I would be in a position where maybe I would start to question things, and it just wasn't something that was like feeling right with me, so I didn't end up doing it. But I can maybe show a couple clips here of how the stationery collection is looking, what it's looking like in terms of size. As of right now, I've mainly gone through my fountain pens, stamps, stickers, washi tape, and I still need to do notebooks and journal covers, but I'm gonna be kind of tackling that separately. But so far it's going pretty well. I am getting it to a point where I think I'm feeling much more comfortable. Already I feel like it is more manageable. I have a better idea of what I have. So I think I'll maybe do like one more round of decluttering just to kind of really finalize, and then I'll probably figure out how I want to reorganize and store my things so that they are presented and stored in a way so that I can also really easily use them too, because I think that's really important as well in the process. So yeah, that's how my declutter is going. We're slowly chipping away at it, and I'm feeling really good about what kind of we have going on. I do still need to figure out storage. The only thing I've kind of sorted out on storage that I'm like not gonna probably change is how I'm storing my stickers, which is in this photo album from Muji. I like how it just kind of stores everything together, and it's really like compact and contained. So I think I'm gonna keep my stickers in that, but I do wanna figure out a better way to store my washi tapes and stamps. I do keep my fountain pens and fountain pen supplies in this like wire bin, which is probably not like the most recommended nor ideal way to store them, but it works fine right now, so I might just keep it like that. But mainly I want to focus on kind of reorganizing how I store my stamps and washi tape, since that is kind of the majority of my journaling supplies. It kind of falls under that. And then I also want to reorganize. I didn't declutter any of these because I love my photo printers, and they're like kind of like one of my favorite things that I use when journaling. So I was never going to let any of those go, but I do want to also kind of have like maybe a space for my photo printers, extra prints, stuff like that, so it can kind of be organized too. So I will maybe share with you how that's going in terms of the reorganization approach later, but yeah, we will see how that goes. But so far, good progress on the declutter. I'm really happy with how it's going so far. So I will probably share kind of how I'm reorganizing my stuff, and maybe just do a bit of a journaling supply collection tour at that point as well, so you can see everything that I did keep and how I'm storing it. Alrighty, so next up, guys, we are having gel pen struggles over here. I know this isn't something that I am only having an issue with, because before I had this problem, I did see people comment on my videos telling me that the gel pen that I've used for years, the Zebra Sarasa vintage 0.5 gel pen in brown gray, yes, it is a mouthful, that they were experiencing issues with the pen running dry and just kind of not having a like smooth or consistent ink flow. And I've used that gel pen for years and I've never had that issue. I think I started using it in like 2020 or 2021, maybe even earlier actually, but it's been a while. I've never had issues with it. And recently this year, since I want to say January, the pen has just not been working. I have swapped out refills to see if a different refill would help. I've bought new refills to see if maybe the ones I had were old, so that's why they were being difficult. And I just find that like it's just like not being a consistent writing experience with the Zebra Sarasa vintage. I think the vintages tend to be a little more finicky compared to the regular like Sarasa clip line, I think, from what I've heard. But yeah, it's just been kind of frustrating. Like, you know, you're writing in your journal and the pen isn't writing the way you want, and it's just, you know, not super fun. So I have been kind of looking at if there are any alternatives to that pen that I could maybe switch into. Right now I've been looking at the Energel RTX gel pen in the 0.5 in the Sepia color. I think it's a little darker than the brown gray gel pen by Sarasa, but I think it's like relatively close in, you know, it being a brown ink. And I've also been playing around with my fountain pens again. So I think the last time I used fountain pens was maybe February of last year. I stopped very abruptly when I had a situation where my dog ate one of my fountain pens. It was a Kaweco Sport Clear, which they don't make anymore. So it was not only sad that the pen was eaten, but I couldn't actually replace it. And it just kind of like, I don't know, it was like one of those weird experiences where I just like did not want to use fountain pens anymore. And I was like not in a space where I wanted to use them, and I just wanted something simple, so I went back to gel pens. But now, because I've been having issues with the gel pens, I have been kind of going back to investigating and testing out my fountain pens, because I do have these pens. So, you know, sometimes I go into my drawer and I start inking things up and using them as we do as stationery lovers. So I wanted to show you two pens that I've been kind of playing around with. The first is my TWSBI and the second is my Traveler's Company brass fountain pen. I think also part of why I started using this fountain pen again is because I got this really beautiful pen case from Madrid when I went to Spain at the end of last year, and I put my TWSBI in it and realized it was a really nice way to store and protect my fountain pen that I carry around a lot. Well, that I have been carrying around a lot since end of April. And that's also been kind of nice to kind of start to use this case more, because I do really like it, and also have the pen protected. This pen I've been using for kind of daily lists. So I've been writing down like what I need to do every day on Tomoe River paper. This is the TWSBI, oh, I'm so bad at fountain pen names. It's a TWSBI fountain pen. I think it's the Eco, so it's like the regular line, and this is a medium nib. I can't for the life of me remember what the ink is. It's like a brown ink. I know, so descriptive. But I'll write a sample with the pen so you can see, but it's this brown ink by Pilot. I'll put the name on the screen. It's really nice, I really like it. And I've been playing around with this with my daily lists, and I've also been kind of breaking out this pen as well. This is the Traveler's Company brass fountain pen. This comes in a fine tip, and I have a cartridge in here because the actual like body of the pen is so tiny, as you can see, that you can only really put cartridges in here. Like you couldn't put a converter, I think. It would be too small. So I've always used cartridges in this guy. And the cartridge in here right now is J. Urbain. I think it's Lié de Thé, which is like a brown color as well. Because you know me, I love my brown pens. So yeah, I'll just write a sample for you so you can see. And I'm trying to like find a blank page in this notebook I've been using. Whew, all right, I found one. So this is white Tomoe River paper. This is a Good Impressions insert, but this will work just fine. And I will show you what these look like. I must say, I do really appreciate how with fountain pens, you know, well, I will say it is kind of the thing where you can fall down a rabbit hole very quickly, just with like the pens being sometimes expensive, then it's like the inks, and then, you know, the case for the pen. So it can be a bit of a slippery slope. But you know, I will say I do appreciate the consistency of like the pen writing smoothly and the ink coming out Oh, that's not fine. It's medium. Oops. So that's where I've kind of been evaluating, like, do I want to maybe start using fountain pens more in my journals versus gel pen? There we go. So, oh, I'll write down the color of this one because I know what it is. This is, there we go. So let me zoom in for you so you can see. So those are the browns that I have going on right now. Again, I'm sorry, I don't remember the first one, but the second one is the Urban ink, which is really nice. I quite like both of them. It's nice having kind of different nib sizes as well to play around with. I'm kind of surprised I've been enjoying this fine nib so much, because when I first got into fountain pens, I got a medium, and then I got a bunch of broad nibbed Coeco Sports and was mainly using those. But for some reason, I've been kind of finding the fine nib this time to be really nice, and I don't do printing with fountain pen. I find like cursive just works better for me. For some reason, printing, holding the pen and printing feels very uncomfortable in my hand. So yeah, the cursive has been good. I've been enjoying these two pens. Who knows, maybe I will have more fountain pens in my journals. We will see. I'm trying to think about how I want to do that, but yeah, no changes with that besides using these kind of for daily to-do lists and kind of dipping my toes into the fountain pen world again, which has been really nice. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on pen-wise, which I think is an interesting development. Besides pens, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is what I am bringing on my upcoming trip. So in May, I am traveling. I'm going to Ireland as well as Stockholm, Sweden. So I'll be gone for a little while doing that, so there won't be any videos while I'm away, but I will be bringing a bunch of stuff so I can journal about my day and remember what I did, as well as collect ephemera. I am not going to be bringing this, but I will be doing another photo album for the trip, just like I did in Spain. This is kind of how it looks when it's filled out. So it's a photo album, and I made one for Spain where I put a bunch of photos in it, and I really liked it. So I want to continue that for my next trip and have like a collection of these on my bookshelf. I'm not going to be bringing this because I won't need it. I don't do the photo album till after the trip, but I did pick this up for the trip specifically. The other thing I'll be bringing, which was the same as last time, is my window file by Traveler's Company. This is the spiral notebook line, and I need to take out a bunch of these. I still have so much ephemera in here that I didn't end up putting in my journals and like postcards. So I might actually pick up another one of these to store like extra ephemera over the years so that I have it. But essentially it's like a window file, and how I use this is I do like 1 day per window file, so then I can like organize the ephemera and know which thing goes into which day. So I will be bringing this. That hasn't changed. And then I think the other thing that hasn't changed is I'm going to be bringing my sticker release paper insert by Traveler's Company, as well as my craft folder by Traveler's Company, just to kind of hold bigger ephemera that doesn't fit in here, as well as stickers. And then the only thing that is changing with my travel kit, and I'll put a B-roll shot of it up here because it's not with me, is I am changing the case that I am bringing my stuff in. Previously, I had used a Delphonics medium utility pouch. I found that the Delphonics pouch was not really the right dimensions. It wasn't wide enough and it was too tall for the ephemera I was collecting. Also, it was getting really dirty and gross, which, like, you know, I just don't know how much of a durable pouch it really is. So I ended up picking up a pouch by Herschel, which is called their Chapter Travel Kit, I believe. And I'm going to be using that one to travel with instead because it's a little more compact but wider, which is what I need. And I won't just use it for stationery. I think it'll be just like a good multi-purpose travel case for other things too. But that is what I will be putting in, storing my ephemera in this time, which will be good. I'm curious to see how that one fares on the journey. And that's pretty much all I'll be bringing on the trip. So I didn't want to do a dedicated video about this because not much was changing, but I did want to kind of let you know what I was thinking of bringing in case you were curious. So yeah, that is what I will be bringing to Ireland and Sweden. Okay, and besides that, I think that is all I wanted to catch you up on today. I hope you enjoyed catching up with me, talking about the declutter, traveling, pen problems. Let me know if you've been having issues with your pens too, or maybe it's just my individual struggle. And I hope that you're doing well. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I will see you in the next video, wherever that, or whenever, not wherever, whenever that will be, because I'm not sure if I'll make another one before I go on my trip, but we will see, maybe. Either way, I will see you next time, and I hope you have a good weekend. Bye, everybody.